What's going on, guys? Just got to Jubilee Pools. Just come up after work for a couple of hours, see if we could produce some nice little carp. I've just set up on one rod. As you can see, I've got this one on a bait and screw. So you just twist your boilie onto it like so, and it works a treat. I'm actually going to swap it up. I've got a couple of little methods that I'm going to use today. If I can get into this, the bucket's tight. There we go. So, in one of these buckets, I've got a pre-soaked boilie. It's been pre-soaked in bloodworm, amino. Oh, that's all I've got. Boilies, not pre-soaked. Good. Oh, so. Stick him straight on the back. Preferably do it without trying to get so much stuff on your hands, but I've got in here, I've got some crushed boilie as well, so I'm literally just gonna powder coat my boilie just to give it a little bit of a flake as it goes down. So inside that now, some PVA mesh tubing. There's a couple of boilies. I've got some crushed boilie here as well, so the crushed boilie I'm just gonna throw in as a nice bit of particle. So that's it. I'll do nicely. Got some pellets and boilie in here, so I'll throw a handful of them in as well. Now this is going to be quite. It's going to look quite big, but it's not going to be that big, as most of this in here is particle. So it's just mainly attractant. Oh, I've got a little bit of a rip in the bottom of my mesh. Nice and tight though. Doesn't really matter as long as the hole's small. It doesn't really matter as long as your bait don't come out the side. It's still going to work. It's still going to do the damage. Let's get my scissors out. Chop it off. I like to tie the end of my PVA back up. Just makes it a bit quicker. When you want to reload, get the next one done. Just get it, bang it straight out. So that's that. That's that. Now with this, I'm literally just going to attach it through. I'm just going to cast it out. It's a nice tight bag. You know what I mean? As long as my bait sits on the back, we are going to be laughing. So now that's on, just make sure I'm not tangled with twine over the top. I have to give it a little tug like so. Changing up my method, don't really fish well on the island as all the fish seem to be migrating elsewhere to feed. I had a little bit of trouble setting that up, but yeah, that's one rod out. Hopefully we see some results off that. Now normally you could be waiting ages for a bite here, or you know, I've been here and I've caught 18-pounder off the mark, you know, just straight in within 10-15 minutes. You know, I've had an 18-pounder on the bank. It just varies. So yeah, so now it's time to set the second rod up. By the time I do this, I'll come back to you and I'll have 2 rods in the water. Okay, so now we've got both rods out. As you can see, I'm getting indications on the left rod already. That's on a single boilie. A little bit of a PVA mesh bag around it. A little bit of crushed boilie, a little bit of whole boilie, a few pellets. It's been getting some nice indications so far, so hopefully they're biting today a little bit more and we get a little bit more action. I've just put the right rod out. I've got one on a single boilie, one on a 14mm double boilie, so it's a snowman. So yeah, we'll see if they're taking on a single or a double. I'm guessing I was up here about a week ago, and unfortunately I blanked, but it's not been fishing too great as of late. But I've fished this now for probably 3 years, and yeah, I've had some good results. I've had my personal best out of here, so yeah, I know there's big girls in here, it's just finding them. From the alarms. Yeah, so hopefully we should back up some fish. I know that the fish in here go to about, up to this year I've seen 27s come out, so 27, there's a few alleged 30s, so you never know. I've fished it for 3 years, I've had nothing bigger than 22-12, but again, it's still a fish. Fish is a fish, and that's a nice sizable fish. Personal best. But got the rods out, they're both on some pretty good baits. I've done everything in my power to secure a fish anyway, got a little bit of mesh bag out. Oh, so on, they are biting because I'm hearing people getting runs, but we'll have to see. So I think I'm going to change up my method. I think I'm going to move my rod with the single boilie on. I'm not going to re-mesh bag it, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to bang it out further into the open water where I've seen a show of fish. So I'm going to see if a single baiting works, because I'm not sure if they're feeding all too much in here at the moment, which I think is the problem. So I'm just going to stick a single boilie out. It's a highly gloved boilie as well. It's been on soak for a couple of days, so it should be nice and attractive still. So let's pull this rod, let's get it back out, and let's see what we can get off it. See, now I don't know if you can see that, but just behind that, I've just landed in between probably about 3 ripples. So I think the location's prime. I think I'm on prime real estate for a fish, so let's see how that goes. That's just on a single bait. I'm not going to throw too much bait out. Again, I don't know if you've seen that right next to where I've just chopped my rod. Well, the nice fish showing on the top. Let's see if we can bring them down. Now, I'm definitely happy with where that landed. Definitely happy that there's fish around my bait. I'm definitely happy that I think they're not feeding, because it's it's heavily baited in here. There's people spawning left, right and centre, and fair enough I use my bait rod kit, but I don't put 30 out over a rod. It's definitely not needed in a water like this. But yeah, I've done a good few sessions here, and I've come on a kilo of boilies, and they've lasted me 2-3 sessions, and I've banged 10 fish a session. So I know it fishes considerably well. Sometimes it's just, I don't know what's wrong. I think 2020's just threw everything off this year, especially the fishing, because it's not just this water that's fishing like this, unfortunately. But I've got high hopes for this rod, definitely. I'm thinking about putting another bag on my other rod and getting it out in sort of the same general area. Well, so I've decided to change up again. I've actually changed the left rod to a wafter, and that's further out now along, sort of in the middle of the island. There's a little bit of a channel, there's a bit of a gravel bar there. So I've got it out over that. I've seen a lot of show of carp over. Carp just come over swimming like a dolphin, so it's coming up and out the water. So yeah, let's see how we go on the left rod. Hopefully we bag up a few carp on it. So I'm going to switch up tactics on the right hand side rod, which has got the snowman rig on. I'm now going to put on a 14mm boilie and a 10mm yellow pop up. Turns it into sort of a wafter, it will come off the bottom like that. So I'm going to get the right rod in, I'm going to stick that on, we're going to get it out with a bit of mesh, and then yeah, we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it bags us some carp. So as you can see, I've pulled it, I've swapped the bait, and now I've got the little yellow pop-up over the boilie. I've made a little mesh bag, that's mainly pellet. It's got about 5-6 boilies in it as well, just to give them something to match the hook bait a little bit. So yeah, we'll get this out now, and we'll see how this goes. But I've got high hopes, so I'm going to go for a nice fluoro pop-up, see if it's more vibrant to the eye, you know what I mean, and they might take on that a little bit better. So yeah, let's have a look. Okay, so it's still slow, still very slow. Several knocks, several indications, mainly coming off the right rod, but again, we'll just have to see. I've swapped the left rod from a single boilie now to a white pop-up. I think it's a sticky white pop-up. I've casted it back onto the show of fish. Now I'm hoping I'm a bit more over to the left with it this time, so I'm hoping now that we get some good results and we can bang some fish out. But up until now it's been quite slow. A couple of liners, but as of runs, nothing. So yeah, we'll see. Let's go. So the weather's drawing in now. It's absolutely going to start hammering it down. Camera equipment's going to start getting wet, so I'm going to have to pack up. Concludes my trip from Jubilee. I suppose it's another blank linear tomorrow, so some more content. Hit that like and subscribe button, stay in tune. Content uploaded regular now, so yeah, let's go.